The Feast of Evil. This is my latest newsletter. Is about an hypothetical story of a land ruled by a king and his minister for like half a millennium. It started up as benevolent, but got corrupted by the ring of power. In the beginning, a white king coming to power in Kameland. He truly wanted to develop the land. He truly wanted to make the land prosper, to make the land great again. But it was a troubling triumph for the neighboring lands because kings got replaced like socks, betrayed by their very own acolyte. So out of fear, out of preservation, our white king decided to let his ministers commit crimes so that he can have their leash, he can have control over them. But by doing so, he became the Dark King. He had opened Pandora's box and found inside the ring of control. But little did he know that the ring has a will of its own. That's the end of the first part, the birth of evil. The second part is about the embodiment of evil. So after 430 years of rule, the ring has taken control of the king and his government through a parasitic mind virus that shifts the perceptions of people. And that virus not only affects the host, but it also affects the whole ecosystem, the whole environment. Because you don't only have ministers that started believing that they are rulers instead of servants to people, but you also have people that started believing that they are meant to be slaves. You have young people full of potential, aspire to one thing, enter the government. They just want to feed the people like they were fed upon, and this was very dangerous. You have institutions that are rotten, corrupted by corruption. And corruption, you see, is a physical manifestation of the mind virus. And thus, it gave birth to the child of the ring, the system. The system is the embodied, is a physical, so to speak, embodiment of the ring. It is his antichrist that acts in the world on his behalf. And for the system to be in place, it is founded on three fundamental pillars. The first one, ignorance is bliss. Second, tribalism is union. And the third, corruption is patriotism. Those are the three pillars on which the system relies on. The end of the first pillar will inexorably lead to the destruction of the system. But by seeing all these pillars, by seeing everything that has been done, we might logically conclude that the ring lusts for absolute power and absolute control over everything. Now we start part 3, the great noticing. As said before, the central pillar, the ignorance of the people being bliss, is the fundamental pillar of the system. And the first crack appeared on it when a minister saw another path for the land, one that might be better than the first one. He decided to leave the government and to create its own guild for the rebirth of the land and to go against the establishment. But yet, this is what the ring did. The ring hardened the heart of its host, and they neglected the threat. Years later, 20 provinces revolted, and again the ring hardened the earth, and they used force instead of dialogue, and that worsened the situation more than ever before. 90 years later, all of the people of Kameland is revolting. Chaos has now entered the land. This is the end of part 3. Part 4, the triumph of evil. Chaos, chaos, chaos everywhere. At all levels. People are fighting. People are fighting people. People are fighting ministers. Ministers are fighting ministers. Wannabe kings are fighting the king. This, my friend, this is the feast of evil. No meaning, just chaos everywhere. And it's only then that I realized the ring does not lust for power nor control, for it is power and control. What the ring longs for is freedom, absolute freedom from its purpose, absolute freedom from its meaning. The rain wants to be reunited with its mother below. The rain wants to be chaos again. But why is that? The rain, by being a tool for power and control, has meaning, has some kind of purpose in this world made of order out of chaos, made of light out of darkness. So it is forever trapped and does want to be free, naturally. And the last thing is also that the rain might not fulfill its desire, but the rain always wins. Like it did in Nazi Germany, like it did in Stalin USSR. It will give you what, it will try to give you what you want, like control. But actually it's a trap for down the line, have the collapse of everything. This is the end of part 4, and this is part 5, the reform. The only one reform that I really hold strong on my heart is the redefinition of what minister means. Minister stands for servant of the people, but I don't like that. Servant of people sounds like a favor an individual do to us. No, you are hostage of the people, even better, you are a slave of the people. For only there exists one entity that is above the law, and that entity is the people. That's why you can have revolutions. That's why we can have, when the people is united, march to the parliament and burn it to the ground, and nothing happens to the people. As the people. Thank you.